I begin with a word in English, and the rest is in Italian. But I want to repeat the words from the responsorial psalm. I will sing a new song to the Lord because he has done marvels. And indeed, not just with me, but with all of us, my brother cardinals, as we celebrate this morning, I invite you to recognize the marvels that the Lord has done, the blessings that the Lord continues to pour out upon all of us. Through the ministry of Peter, you have called me to carry that cross and to be blessed with that mission. And I know I can rely on each and every one of you to walk with me as we continue as a church, as a community of friends of Jesus, as believers, to announce the good news, to announce the gospel.
A new era begins at the Vatican. Cardinal Robert Prevost has been elect Pope of the Roman Catholic Church, taking the name Pope Leo XIV, a name that echoes tradition but signals transformation. Known for his pastoral heart, deep commitment to missionary work, and focus on global justice, Pope Leo XIII's ascension marks the beginning of what many are already calling a historic and potentially groundbreaking papacy. Whether you're a lifelong Catholic, a skeptic watching from the sidelines, or someone captivated by world events, there's no denying this. The Church is about to change. Let's explore the 10 major shifts we can expect under Pope Leo XIV. First, Pope Leo XIV is expected to amplify the role of the Global South within the Church's leadership structure. With firsthand experience in Latin America and deep connections to communities often underrepresented in Vatican decision-making, he is poised to empower bishops and cardinals from Africa, Asia, and Latin America. These regions now account for the majority of the world's Catholics, and Leo XIV wants the Church's hierarchy to reflect that reality. Expect new appointments, new perspectives, and a more globalized vision for Catholicism's future. Second, clerical celibacy, one of the most discussed issues in the Church, is likely to see nuanced change. Pope Leo XIV is not calling for the end of celibacy, but he recognizes the critical shortage of priests in many parts of the world. There is strong indication he supports continued conversation on the possibility of ordaining viri probati, older, married men of proven faith, particularly in isolated regions where Mass is rare or unavailable. While any changes will be approached cautiously, the conversation is clearly no longer off limits. Third, Pope Leo XIV brings with him a deep commitment to confronting the sexual abuse crisis with honesty and urgency. He is expected to implement more rigorous oversight, create independent review bodies, and expand survivor support networks. Under his leadership, the Church will likely adopt zero-tolerance policies that apply equally across dioceses and continents, holding bishops and priests accountable without exception. Transparency, not secrecy, is his message, and it's a message the faithful have long been waiting to hear. Fourth, the role of women in the Church is expected to grow significantly. While female ordination remains doctrinally closed, Leo XIV is seen as a strong advocate for women's leadership. He is expected to open more senior administrative roles to women in the Vatican Curia, enhance women's voices in synods, and support efforts for women to lead in theological education and pastoral ministries worldwide. It's a step toward equity that, while incremental, could have lasting effects on church governance. Fifth, Leo XIV is not just continuing the movement toward a synodal church, he's accelerating it. Under his leadership, synodality will shift from theory to practice. That means regional and national bishops' conferences may gain more decision-making power, especially on local pastoral issues, cultural expressions of faith, and contextual moral questions. The centralized authority of the Vatican could give way, at least partially, to a more collaborative, listening church, one that genuinely values discernment from the ground up. Sixth, environmental justice will likely be a centerpiece of Pope Leo XIV's moral leadership. Inspired by Laudato Si', but eager to take it further, he has already spoken about the sacredness of creation and the moral urgency of climate action. Expect partnerships with indigenous communities, a focus on eco-spirituality, and bold global statements defending the earth against corporate exploitation and political neglect. He sees the planet not just as a resource, but as God's gift and humanity's shared responsibility. Seventh, Pope Leo XIV is entering the papacy with a keen understanding of the digital age. In a world where screens dominate and faith can feel distant, he intends to bring the Church to where the people are, online. Plans are underway to overhaul Vatican communications, engage younger audiences via social media platforms like TikTok, YouTube, and even the metaverse. Think interactive catechesis, live stream dialogues with youth, and digital evangelization that's fast, visual, and inspiring. Eighth, on the delicate issue of LGBTQ+ inclusion, Pope Leo XIV is expected to offer a more compassionate and pastoral approach. While traditional doctrine will remain unchanged, he's committed to eliminating language and practices that alienate or condemn. He supports creating safe spaces for LGBTQ+ Catholics within the Church, fostering dialogue, and offering pastoral care without judgment. For many, this represents a long overdue shift from tolerance to genuine welcome. Ninth, priestly formation is due for a major transformation. Pope Leo XIV believes that future priests must be more than just theologians. They must be emotionally mature, culturally competent, and spiritually resilient. He is expected to reform seminaries to include more real-world training, focus on psychological health, intercultural engagement, and develop leaders who can serve diverse and complex communities. It's about building shepherds, not just scholars. And 10th, Pope Leo XIV embodies a style of leadership that is profoundly humble, grounded, and relational. He is rejecting clericalism in both form and function. Don't expect lavish liturgies, political posturing, or grand pronouncements. Instead, expect visits to prisons, calls to the peripheries, and a continued embrace of simplicity. He is choosing to walk with the people, not above them, redefining what it means to be the vicar of Christ in the 21st century. So, what will the Catholic Church look like in a decade? More global, more inclusive, more grounded in the real joys and struggles of its people. One thing is clear, Pope Leo XIV is not here to preserve the status quo. He's here to listen, to heal, and to lead with courage into the unknown. If you want to follow how faith, tradition, and modernity collide in this new chapter of church history, hit that like button, leave us your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more stories that explore belief in our changing world. Until next time, peace be with you.